Thanks for logging on to NASCAR.com for this week's edition of Fantasy Showdown. This is where we bring in a rotating panel of experts trying to help you out with your fantasy team. Or maybe hurt you with your fantasy team. Depends how good these guys are. Jason Scholl, Bill Kim joining Mark Fine this week, and both of them producers here for NASCAR.com. And guys, we got to start out with looking at the standings. I'm still happy because I'm in the middle of the pack, even though I had a rough week. Everybody who I had wrecked last week, I guess you could say, thus far, fantasy has been the bane of my existence.
Nice. Well done. Well played.
Well done. Let's look at the standings here. Here's how the weekly standings broke down. Congrats to Matt Roper, who produces this show. He has let us all know in emails all week long that he won this week. Shout out to the fan of the week. This week it's Ranger Racing 51. We congratulate them. 389-point week for Ranger Racing.
That's good.
That's great.
So, 51. Nice job by them. When we look at the overall standings, like I said, I'm still in the middle of the pack and still ahead of both Bill Kim and Marty Snyder, which makes me very, very happy. So, and Jason, for that matter. So, there's a look at the standings, guys. And, okay, I have talked enough. Let's get to it. These guys are going to give you studs, duds, one to watch. Bill, you're ahead of Jason. We're going to let you go first. Give us a stud this week for Vegas.
All right, not a problem. There are two must-haves on your team this week. One of them is the 18 of Kyle Busch. Take out his first race here. His worst finish is 15th. He averages a top 11 finish here. He's a lock to get you lap lead points because he always starts up front. He will lead this race on multiple accounts, and come the final 10 laps, he's going to be in the mix for the win. So he didn't complete the sweep last week, but I like Kyle Busch this week in the 18.
Yeah, and Kyle Busch, the only driver thus far this year to finish in the top 5 in the first 2 races of the year. So another reason you might want to go with him. Who do you have for your stud?
I'm going to go with Jeff Gordon. I mean, this is the kind of guy where, once he finally breaks that losing skid and gets a win, they're going to come in bunches. I think the chemistry he has with Alan Gustafson is absolutely great. He dominated this race last year at Vegas. He led 219 of 267 laps. So that's where you get those half points for leading laps. And they were fast laps, too. So you also get those fastest lap bonus points there. 6th or better in 5 of his last 6 at Vegas, so I think Jeff Gordon is a great pick for this week.
Yeah, I love Jeff Gordon. I picked him every other week last year and the year before, and now he finally gets off the schneid. I didn't pick him last week. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Appreciate it. All right, let's go to duds now. Jason, we'll start with you on this one. Who do we want to stay away from?
Kurt Busch. I think for the money, he's like $28.03 million, or that's $28.01 million. Or actually, we're not doing millions this year. You're right. That was last year. So $28.01.
You're experts, ladies and gentlemen.
Average finish of 22 at Las Vegas. That's not good for the money. And I think actually over the last 4, it's like an average finish of 30. So you got to stay way, way away from Kurt Busch. He's just not
and he always winds up with a good starting position as well, and that can hurt you with the new pro. If you start good and you finish bad, that's gonna hurt you in terms of the new point system as well. Who do you want to stay away from?
Yeah, it's very rare that I agree with my bearded friend here, Jason Scholl, but I have Kurt Busch written down as well, and exactly for the reasons that Mark Fine says. He has not started outside the top 10 in Vegas in 10 races. His average start is 5. His average finish is in the 20s. Exactly what you said. Place differential, pass differential, all of these stats now play a huge role in this game, and he has big-time negatives as far as those categories are concerned.
Not really sure what I need you here for.
I'm leaving. I'm out.
Just kidding. All right, hey, let's go. Here's where you guys really earn your money now, okay? I mean, we can all read that stuff, in terms of the numbers. Where do you find that guy that's really going to help you out? The guy that's cheap, the Trevor Bayne, so to speak, who, yes, I had in week 1. Okay, I got a little help, but still, it counts. I'm in there. Who are we looking for in terms of a guy that might be able to help you out that you wouldn't normally think of? Jason, we'll start with you on this.
I'm going to go with David Reutimann. Mile and a half star, this guy's strength. I want to say 2 years ago he finished 4th, so we got a top 5 finish there, 13th last time out, so an average finish over the last 2 races at Vegas of 8.5. Pretty cheap, too. He's kind of in the middle range, so I'm going to go with David Reutimann.
All right, I like it. What about you?
I didn't know Reutimann had strengths yet. I haven't seen
those
yet.
He's got one.
The mile
he
and a half
won at Chicago. He won at Charlotte. Cut him some slack.
Rain for one of those. No, my one to watch this week is going to be Regan Smith. He is very inexpensive, and he's starting to show signs of, Furniture Row could be halfway decent this year. That could be a pretty good race team at Vegas. He's done 3 races there, and all 3 of those races he's improved on his finishing position. So I like Regan Smith. He's relatively cheap, and if he continues his improvement, I think you can reap benefits from that in fantasy and be able to buy the Kyle Busches, the Tony Stewarts, the Jeff Gordons and stuff.
Right. A lot of people still figuring out how to do this new game, and hey, it's been a lot of fun. Guys, thanks very much. Thank you for watching this week's edition of Fantasy Showdown. Remember, log on to NASCAR.com for all your news, information, games, anything you want. NASCAR.com/fantasy. We'll see you again next week.